Firstly, Finn, another European quarter-final to look forward to on Sunday. How much are you looking forward to it yourself?
Yeah, it's another one for us. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I missed out last year after I got the sort of ban after the Six Nations. So for me, I'm looking forward to it and the challenge that we've got ahead of us this weekend. So it's a massive focus for us to try and win this title. So it's a knockout game, which is great fun to play in.
Yeah, you mentioned it there. It's a massive focus to win this title. Racing have suffered a bit of hurt in this competition. Is that spoken about, Finn, throughout the week and even, I suppose, at the start of seasons and things?
Yeah, I think when I first came here, I knew how big a focus was on the Champions Cup, and after losing the final 2 years ago, this year it's not almost spoken about that much, but everyone knows how much each other want it, which is great. That's what you want when it's coming into Champions Cup and when it's coming to this end of the season. But no, it's not spoken about too much. It's more just everyone knows, and everything through the week, the training, the meetings, everything, just the atmosphere at the club slightly changes, which is good.
Yeah, like you spoke in that final there, the one you lost to against Exeter, you're obviously good mates with Stuart Hogg and things like that. Is there a bit of jealousy, when you're speaking, even not at the time, but you're like, geez, they've got one of these, I don't have one of them yet.
Yeah, I mean, again, that'll be sort of kind of personal things. I mean, for me, I've been in one final and lost it, so it's a shame. But some of the boys have been in, 2, 3, even 4 finals and not managed to win it. So, I wouldn't say there's jealousy there. It's just that's part of sport, You have these, these results and these outcomes in sport. It's happened to me a couple of times before. So yeah, it's kind of how you can get back from that. And if we get a chance to get back into the final in a few weeks' time, then how we've learned from that and how, even this weekend, like I say, it's knockout. Next weekend will be knockout again, obviously, if we're in the semi. So how we kind of learn from these big games and hopefully build on it.
And this Racing team at the moment, you're fourth in the table. Where do you feel you are at the moment, Finn, compared to the last couple of years you've been at the club?
I think this year's been slightly different. I think we've been a little bit up and down. We've not really hit our form. We've had it in a couple of games, Northampton away, then we had a good win against Stade Francais there a few weeks ago and managed to beat Toulouse and Bordeaux away, but I don't think we've really been firing like we have done in the past, which is, it's great to be in that situation where we're still managing to get wins. We're fourth, but, I think we're a point behind second and third and like 3 points behind first. So I think if we keep building on the season that we're having, although we've not quite hit our stride yet, if we keep building on it, then hopefully come the business end, which we're in now, then we start finding our rhythm.
Even speaking to you there, I can tell you're a relaxed character. I know listening to other podcasts, you're very relaxed. You've been pressure rugby, I don't know, 11 years now. Most teams, I'd say, from the get-out, even when you're at Glasgow, would target you, Finn. It never seems to phase you, even when you're chatting. How do you deal with that? I know everyone says, look, it's all about how we play. But are you conscious of teams coming up on the line to hit you quicker? Or are you?
There's definitely individuals who'll do it more than others. I'm looking into Sale this week. I'd imagine they're going to run Tuolangi straight at me, which is the other side of the ball. But it's what happens as a 10, and you have a big influence on how the team plays, and mainly in attack, but also in defence. If, like I said this week, if Manu comes straight, then if I let him make 10 metres every carry, then it makes it easy for Sale. So I think it's just something you get used to, and I don't know, some players might get rattled by that. I'm not sure if I'd say I enjoy it, but it's kind of what to say, it shows that you're doing something right, that they're having to put you under that much pressure to try and take you out of the game. So it's a bit rewarding at the same time, actually. If a team's sole focus in defence is to try and take you out of the game, it shows that you're doing something right. You have a big impact on the team and how they play. So, but at the same time, it kind of creates gaps, and although it's potentially a strength for them once or twice, for me, I like to see it as an opportunity. If someone's flying out of line trying to get myself or someone else, then it'll create some sort of space around them, and it's up to us on the pitch to adapt and analyse that as we're going through the game to then, next time it happens, to make the most of it.
Yeah, definitely. And the guy you go up against, AJ McGinty, must have plenty of respect for him. How well he's done, I suppose, and when he's fit, he seems to drive the Sale team forward.
Yeah, actually, I think my mum and dad are kind of friendly with his parents. Actually, I got injured in Connacht maybe 6 years ago, and they helped out a lot with my parents staying over in Dublin and stuff. So I know him a little bit from playing against him with Scotland against USA and when he's at Connacht and things. And he's a great player. I think he's been injured recently, so he's kind of just coming back from that. But no, it's great to see him out there. I think he'll add a lot to the Sale game, and I think the 10 they've had playing the last few weeks, he's moved to 13. So for Sale, they're going to have a couple of ball players in there as well as Manu coming direct. So they're going to have a good balance for the arena, which is very dangerous for us.
Yeah, definitely. And a guy outside you, Mr. Racing, Henry Chavancy. Do you feel as if you need to win something for him as well? Never mind yourself. He seems to have been there for forever.
I think, like I said, there's been boys who've been at this club their whole career or for a long period of it. And I've been in the 3 finals. I think when he's been in 4 finals, 1 with Biarritz and 3 with Racing. So I wouldn't say it's just for Henri, but I think for the club in general, getting so close a few times and not managing to win it just means so much for myself and for the club. And that's not just the players, that's the fans that we've got here, the staff who are all part of it. So I think coming so close 3 times, it would just mean so much to everyone to kind of get over the line and win a Champions Cup.
Yeah, and you've been at Racing maybe 4 or 5 years now. Still as enjoyable as much as you did at the start?
Yeah, it's my 4th season, so coming to the end of my 4th season. I'm loving it. Paris is good. It's tough at times, but I think I still love it. It's a great place to live and great rugby to play over here. I'm still really enjoying it here, which is good. After a few years, I think after 2 years, I signed on straight away again, and so after next season, hopefully see where it goes from there. But for me, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I won't ask about next season. Do you mean when you say it's tough off the pitch as much as on the pitch? Is that what you mean?
I think both. I mean, you get used to it, obviously, but I think over here there's no easy games. We played Biarritz and Bordeaux away. Yeah, Biarritz and Perpignan away from home, and they're at the bottom of the league, but they beat us both when they were at home. So I think there's no easy games over here, which is something that's potentially different with the relegation and promotion, obviously, before they do up to the top 14, that every team's fighting and battling every week. So, it's not you can come up against one of the teams towards the bottom and think, it's an easy win, There's always something that you've got to play for. And, for us, thankfully, it's been us playing to get in the top 6. This year we're down in 9th at some point. We've managed to get back up to 4th. Any of the next games, and we'll be struggling to maybe get top 6. So, I think every week it's kind of must-win games to an extent. Which is great, and especially this time of year, since the Pole game or even Biarritz game, we've had kind of not knockout rugby, but to an extent it's kind of been like that. If we lose one game, we're kind of fighting to get top 6. So, like I say, it's tough like that because you've got to be mentally there, physically there every week, which is tough going for 10 months of the year.
Yeah, definitely. And just if we take it back to your time in Scotland, even the past 6 Nations, fair to say, look, you guys had a bit of a tricky sort of period in that 6 Nations. Is it nice to come back to Racing and get away from it all as well?
Yeah, I think it's quite good, especially for me a few years ago when I wasn't there for the Scotland stuff, just to get back to France and get back to focusing on rugby and myself. It was really good, and there's pros with that. You can get out of the camp, you can get back here home and get back to focusing on club rugby, something different. Although the travelling is tough, but I think nowadays the coaches, they kind of get it. Kind of going back and forward. It's I got a week off during it, which was nice getting back here, getting a week off before the last 2 games. So I think it's tough coming and going, but at the same time it's good as well. So for me, I think I could go back to Glasgow, or I could go back to play in Scotland, or thinking about that maybe, and to get these extra weeks off. But personally, for me, I'd prefer to play all the weeks and be over here.
Yeah. Last couple for me. Thanks for your time. Mike Prendergast, obviously you've worked with him for a couple of years. Good to get a fresh opinion on it. The first one, he's just signed for Munster. Obviously he wants to win something with you before he goes. But your relationship with him, and how good do you think he will be for Munster then?
I think he'll be great. For me working with him, I've loved working with Mike. Relationship off the field as good as on the field. We kind of seeing the same pictures on the same page. I'm asking him questions, he's asking me them sometimes, and we built a really good relationship of understanding each other, how I like to play, how he likes to coach, what he's looking for, what I'm looking for, which helps so much. And I think, for Mike going to Munster, he's got Carberry there who he'll be able to work with really closely and help Joey's game, but also the team structure. And I'd like to think he'll be allowed to impose his style of play and how he wants to play, which I think would be great. You know, the players that Munster have got, they can definitely play a similar style to us. And just I was chatting to Zeebs a little bit, so he's looking forward to him coming back as well. You know, so I think for Mike it's nice for him getting back home with his family, his kids and everyone. Getting back home would be nice for him as well. So it's a shame to see him leave, but no, I think it's a great decision for Mike and a great opportunity.
And like from the outside in, you know, does he put in structures? Obviously he does, but allow you to play within those and allow if you see space to go yourself in?
Yeah, no, he does. I think I kind of mentioned, I think the relationship that Mike and I have got, he knows the way I like to play. I know what he likes, what his sort of structures are, and they kind of do go hand in hand quite often, which is great, you know. The last thing I kind of want to do is play that kind of up the jersey, pick and go sort of game. Obviously, at times you have to do it, or even the kind of kicking game, it's maybe not for me. And Mike, we've kind of not come to an agreement as if he wants me to do that, but we're both on the same page that, yeah, obviously at times we have to do that, but we both have that kind of expansive, like, running rugby kind of mindset, albeit at times, obviously, we're going to have to kick it. And I think the last few months, Mike and I have kind of been more chatting about just kicking it, keeping the ball in play, and let's play as much as we can and kind of back our fitness, back our kind of X factor that we've got here. So I think, again, it kind of comes down to the relationship that Mike's got with myself, but also the other players. I think he can kind of go up and chat to anyone and ask their opinion. They can probably feel freely to go up and chat to Mike and have a blather away with him. So I think that's, you know, to have that as a coach you can speak so freely with it, that's great.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be. At 29, Finn, you know, you should probably hopefully still have 5-6 years. How good can you still get, or how do you keep getting better?
Yeah, hopefully 5 or 6 more years, that'd be nice. But no, I think for me, I mean, this season's probably not been my best season. It's been far from my best season, I'd imagine, for me. So I think the fresher, it sounds easy to say, the fresher I can stay, and which isn't always easy, like I mentioned, you know, with the Scotland stuff coming back and forward and long seasons with every game's being big. But I think the more I can kind of get used to managing myself throughout the season, and working with the coaches and the physical kind of staff, you know, the better I can get at that. And obviously, as I get older, then that might change for me what I need to do on and off the field. So yeah, I think, you know, obviously I'll get more and more experience as I keep going, but I just need to make sure that physically and mentally I'm still as driven and I want it as much as I do get slightly older.
And finally, for me, what would it mean for you and this group of wrestling players to win this Heineken Cup trophy for the first time?
That'd be amazing. Like I say, we lost one 2 years ago, and I was against a couple of other Scottish boys, obviously. So I think it was against Sam Hadaldo-Klein, who actually made one of the turnovers on the line in that final, and he'd just left wrestling that year as well. So that was a bit annoying, but you know, I think it was, again, that sport. But for me, it'd be massive. It'd be an incredible achievement for us as a playing squad and as a player myself to be able to do that. So yeah, I think that's the main goal for us. Obviously, we're going to have some league games in between if we get through to the final, but the focus, I'd imagine, after these 2 games will be on the Champions Cup if we're going to Marseille in the final. So I think for us, you know, we're a French team. We could be against another French team over there if we get through, obviously. So to have a Champions Cup in the country that you're playing for, it'd be amazing. Having to an extent a home crowd, will depend on who you're against, but to have a home crowd would be amazing. I think it'd be an incredible atmosphere, and like I say, it'd be something that would just be, you know, an amazing thing to have in your career.
Definitely would, Finn. All the best on Sunday.